Good day, everybody, or good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. It is a beautiful Saturday here in Ireland. Not raining, so that's a bonus. It's actually been pretty good this year. I said that I was going to do a video on pros and cons on why I'm going back to Canada. I made a sole decision that I'm going back, and I'm very excited about it. I have some decent plans that I have planned to do. I'm going to buy myself a caravan, and I'm going to travel from one end of Canada to the other, and I'm also planning in the near future to do a trip from Canada in around the USA. Anyways, on to the pros and cons. And I also want to state that this is not my music. I'm just using it for background. Love Robbie Robertson. He's a good singer. Anyways, my pros and cons. I wrote them out here. I don't know if you can see them or not, but I'm going to read them out. This is my own opinion on why I'm going back. So everyone, please, this is my own reasons. So first of all, of course, I always like to weigh out my pros and cons when I do anything, like moving and stuff like that, my future goals and stuff. So my pros, well, I like to say that, my family and friends are in Canada, my grandkids, I miss them. Not that I don't fly back and forth to Canada to visit and stuff, but it's kind of nice to be there for the grandkids and stuff. Here, I really don't have family. I mean, I have a few friends. Ireland's a bit different, it's kind of cliquey. I don't know. In my personal opinion, I've had some actual racism and, people just having their opinion of immigrants, I guess you can say. Even though my great-grandfather is from Ireland, I am part Irish, but anyways. So that was my own experience. So another thing here too is if you were to go see a dentist or a doctor, you have to pay basically up front, which is understandable. If you were to go to the hospital, it's the same thing. Canada, I didn't realize how lucky and fortunate I was that, you have, if you had to go to the hospital, they have, I'm going to jump into the job part here. If you start a job, most jobs in Canada have medical and dental, you pay so much and they pay the rest kind of thing. So here they don't. So you're paying out of your pocket all the time, which is not great because my experience this year, I was in 2 accidents, unfortunately, which really put me behind. I was, in one workplace, and because I didn't have enough hours, I didn't qualify for injury benefits, I guess you can call it. So I, had to suffer the consequence of being injured at work. And then prior to that, I saved enough money to go to Canada. So I had a ticket before that accident. And so anyways, I went to Canada to see my daughter. She had her baby. I come back to Ireland and lo and behold, I get into another accident. I had a vehicle rear-end me, and yeah, so that put me out again, just as I was getting better from the first accident. So then once again, I was basically, screwed for any kind of income. So I finally went back to work in it was September of this year. I'm thankful it is a job. It's only 2 hours a day and it's bare minimal wage. So, I mean, it basically gets me by. So anyways, I took some beauty courses. I mean, I've been saving my money and so I've been doing different treatments here so I can make some kind of income here. Anyways, moving on. When I first moved here and I wanted to open a bank account, well, let's just say it's pretty impossible. It's pretty impossible to open a bank account here. If you don't have your T's crossed and your I's dotted, you're hooped. see, I'm used to Canada where it's like it's open. There's always someone there at the service desk that's willing to help you. Here, there's like nobody. You're standing there, and you know, when you try and make an appointment, it's like it's next to impossible. And then when you don't have your information that you do online, you know, to make your appointment and everything proper, you know, when I first moved here, you know, it's tricky on knowing how to write the address properly because it's like some big long thing, you know, like it's just crazy. So that was like an obstacle and a half. After about like 4 attempts, I finally was able to open an account. You know, it's time consuming and it's frustrating. But yeah, you know, I'm used to Canada. That's like the cons there. It's easy. I can go in, have all my proof, my ID, and, you know, it's open. But here you got like a 4-inch, like, you know, glass between you and the person, and half the time they don't know what you're talking about. I'm just like, I'm just wanting to open an account, and they're like, oh well, you got to go online to, you know, and I'm like, I made an appointment and everything. I'm here for my appointment. But anyways, moving on. So yeah, as well as like when it comes to like the government here, it's like, okay, so when you go to make an appointment, and it's all online now, and it's like online, it's complicated. It's like there's no clear instructions, you know, and so, you know, when you try and contact someone to get some help, they're like, oh no, not this number, you need to call this number. So you call that number they gave, and they're like, oh no, that's not the, you know, and it's just like one big runaround. So anyways, when you email them as well, it could take up to like, swear to God, it could take like up to 4, even 6 months when, you know, it comes to any government stuff for them to respond. Like for instance, I'm going to go back to when my injury, and the doctor signed for me, you know, because you get this form from the doctor, and then you're supposed to take that to the what they call it, the dole office, which is the social welfare office, to take this form in. And it took 6 months for them to respond back with me no income or nothing to say, oh, sorry, you don't have enough hours to qualify for any assistance. I'm like, 6 months. So like Canada, well, if you were to do that in Canada, you would get a response like that day, or even within the next 3-4 days. So yeah, that's a big difference when it comes to maybe 3-4 days. I can handle that, but you know, 4 to 6 months, wow. You know? So anyways, and then when it comes to, I'm going to go about driving here. I don't know if any of you've ever been in Ireland and had the experience of driving here. So anyways, a lot of areas, they have like, you know, the painted line which divides the one side from the other side. Well, you know, from my experience, that seems to be, you know, it doesn't matter because people will, on the other side, drive over the white line. You know, and it's often, and you get like these big trucks, and I don't know if you ever seen the roads here. They're pretty narrow in some areas, like the side roads and stuff. So, you know, and it's like, it's just scary at times. You always have to be on the alert. I mean, more so than Canada. Like, you know, I guess I'm used to, and I admit, used to Canada where it's like open and vast, and, you know, you don't have that experience, people driving over the white line. The white line means stay on your side, you know. And, you know, but anyways, it is what it is. Ireland is beautiful, lovely history, so much to see. It is grand and vast, you know, I love the place. But when it comes to all those things, like I said, you know, those are the important, essential things in life, as far as I'm concerned. So, you know, and the funny thing is, like, whenever I talk, it's always like, oh, are you American? But, you know, I'm like, no, Canadian. And most people always say, wow, what is a Canadian doing here? I mean, you actually find a fair bit of, like, Americans here, but not many Canadians. So, you know, I am glad and blessed that I'm born and raised in Canada, because there's a lot of things that I'm grateful. You know, you sure open your eyes to different parts of the world. But, you know, I enjoy, you know, having the experience I did. Not to say I wouldn't come back to visit and stuff, But when it comes to living and, you know, it's like they're still kind of behind on things and, you know, yeah. So anyways, that's my opinion, pros and cons. You know, I'm sure that other people have their reason to wanting to move back home or their reason to wanting to stay. But, you know, anyways, love and light. Enjoy your day.